today we're headed to a client's house. She lives south of Dallas, Texas, and she has a beautiful new home, has some really nice lawn immediately around her house that's irrigated. However, she has several acres, maybe 2, 3, that is just native grass. She actually has, it's buffalo grass mixed with blue stem. It just has been growing there wild. So our suggestion, she has some bare areas out there, so we want to just put some more native grass out there that doesn't require watering, is just going to grow like the rest. So in those bare areas, we're going to break it up with a tiller. We're going to put down some seed and actually add some humates. That helps sometimes when there's areas that are too salty, to help the seed germinate. So we'll have more video when we get there, show you how to do it. But sometimes just the native grasses might do better in areas where you don't have irrigation, or perhaps further out in your lawn where you're not going to irrigate as much. On her lawn, she didn't have much Bermuda grass out there already. In some instances, there's a lot of Bermuda grass already, so that may be a better alternative. Okay, so we've arrived at the client's house. So up around the house, they have nice grass along the driveway. But we have some areas up here where they don't have irrigation. Pretty much like we talked about, that blue stem and whatever. So we're gonna break this up, put some soil and some buffalo and blue grama, just some native grasses to help hold these areas. Here's another area. We've got nice Bermuda grass right up there. And in this area, there's no sprinklers. So a lot of it is just some native grasses, but we have these patches that are just not growing very well. That's where we're gonna break the ground up a little bit, put down some of the native seed and some soil mix, and just let it germinate and water in naturally and just see what we can do. So we've got our BCS tiller. We're breaking up the ground. It's pretty wet. Just want to break it up. So out here on the job, the tiller did pretty good, but there's a few places we don't want to till because of the native grass, but we do want to break that up a little bit. So a little weasel, since it's muddy, we just have one tine. It's gonna be a little bumpy. But if you just go like that, even one-handed, it breaks the soil. And then we're going to use our big spreading machines there to spread some soil on top of the seed. So we're about ready to seed in this area. We did some tilling, work up the soil some, and then we brought in a good compost soil mix to level out a few of the places. Blue stem usually makes things quite uneven. I think it erodes around the plant. So we'll put the seed down, then we'll throw a top dressing of some soil mix on top, and we'll let nature just help it grow. Okay, so we put some of our buffalo grass in a bucket. You see it kind of almost looks like a sticker. We're gonna mix the blue grama with it. One thing, when you get these bags of seed, there's usually a string. Usually if you just pull on it, it opens just like that. Not that always work, but that makes it a lot easier. And then right here we have our blue grama. We're gonna do less per thousand. But because these seeds, this is a real light seed, if we mix it with the buffalo and stir it around, it will stick to it, and then we can just spread it at one time. So that's buffalo And there's the blue grama right there. And we've just seeded a little hand spreader, works just fine. This is a nice one for spreading the seed. We mixed the buffalo seed with the blue grama, and we're going to see how this does. Here's another area we've broken up some of the soil there and there, and we're just going to spot seed it.
You can cut it.
Okay, so this worked really good spreading the seed. This little grain scoop's pretty handy. So we're just putting some in the spreader. I have this little spreader wide open, and if you have little spots you can hand spread, it's real easy. You just kind of toss it like that. That works. A little bit bigger area, you start cranking. I like to crank before I open it up. And just walk at a normal pace. Puts out a real nice even amount of seed, and we'll be back and see what happens later.